Welcome everybody again to Success Secrets, and I got an exciting show for you today from the owners of Titan Tire. We have Butch and Kim Taylor. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I was fascinated about your story when I was at the chamber, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about how do you run your business. So real quickly for the folks who don't know, how did y'all start Titan Tire?
Well, we started as a franchise, back in 2004. And over a period of time, we realized that the franchise was not in our best interest. So we worked our way out of that situation, and we rebranded the company in 2012. We kind of formed a focus team together, sat in the office for about 3 or 4 hours, had a bunch of names, and we drilled it down. And so we came up with Titan Auto and Tire. And it's been, that was in 2012. We opened up this location that we're currently at, which is in Moseley, Virginia in 2014. Kim was kind of behind the branding. She did all the legwork for that and set us up to almost mimic, a national company. And so we've set our business up to do that. And who knows where we'll end up.
So Kim, what was the mindset behind the branding? Why did you choose Titan? Did you all of a sudden see a movie and say that's it, or
it implies strength and it implies longevity, and we really wanted to create a brand that would be almost regional. Or a lot of people actually thought we bought into another franchise when we rebranded as Titan Auto and Tire. So it was really exciting. There's just so much security, and people feel like they're getting just a more comfortable, better customer experience if it's behind really strong marketing and a good, strong brand name.
Cool. Now, as far as entrepreneurship goes, has this always been in your blood, or just something all of a sudden woke up one day and said, "Hey, we're going to go off on our own"?
Right. Well, that's probably a longer question than what I'll answer on here.
Yeah.
However, I was in manufacturing for 21 years. I started out kind of sweeping floors at a local plant here, and I was there for 15 years. Worked my way up into middle management, and then went back to school, got my degree, got a business degree, and then started with another company in Chesterfield, Virginia. I was there as a production manager for about 5 years, and had a neighbor behind me that lived behind me at the time, and he ran his own business. To this day, he still does, and seemed like he had a lot of time on his hands. He was always out in his yard working, and always had plenty of money. And I'm like, man, that seems pretty cool, And so I started with the franchise, and soon learned out. I never did figure out what he was doing, because the time and the money thing didn't.
I was going to ask you about that.
It didn't happen right away. And so I think it's everybody's dream to maybe want to be their own boss and run their own business. Some days we feel like it is our dream. Some days we feel like it's our nightmare.
I can definitely feel you there. So who is the boss?
We operate in two completely really different capacities. She handles all the marketing, pretty much insurance, health insurance, the benefits for the employees, where I handle the day-to-day operation, the management of the employees, kind of all the financials. So we really don't cross our paths too much, which is good because we sit in the same office.
Yeah. So that's amazing. Y'all actually sit in the same office. Does that work carry home, and do you have to separate that, or what do y'all do?
We very rarely speak about business at home. I mean, unless something is really, really important that has to be discussed, because I don't think we ever planned it that way, but we turn it off when we get home because we have to, because you have to step outside and you have to get a mental break. So
we're not at home very
that's
often.
That's true.
With two locations,
I understand
60-hour weeks are the norm, with usually above that. But we play hard too.
So what's the decision and expansion? You said there was a lot of challenges already. What made you decide, hey, I want another opportunity? I mean, headache.
It's you always want to do better.
Yeah.
You always want to grow. I think we provide a really good service to the community here. We're comfortable. I mean, as a family, we're comfortable. We don't really, need any income. We live very, very simple, very simple. I don't know how these people afford some of these houses they live in, to be honest with you. We live a pretty simple life. We like to get back to the community a lot. So, the more we can profit, the more we can do. And, the true joy is, it's not in making the money, it's being able to do things, give it back to the community. So, sure, we'll pocket some of it, don't get us wrong, but, being able to do more.
How much of that doing more is kind of contributes to the cause marketing, and what do you do as far as the marketing piece there when you're going out to the community, Kim?
Well, we really, a lot of our community partnership is through our customers. People come to us and say that, my daughter's on the swim team, my son's on this basketball team, or whatever cause is important to them, and then we try to help them with their cause. We always tell people what's important to you is important to us, and we value their business, so we want to help them with causes and organizations that are meaningful to them. So those are the opportunities that we look for. Really starts with the customers.
Sure. Yeah, I know it's always a challenge when businesses want to be a part of that community.
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide what to allocate and how much and to who?
Well, I set a budget up every year,
Yeah.
And we try to follow that budget. I don't think we really turn anybody down, do we?
Not very often.
I don't think we really turn anybody. It may not be as much as they want or as much as we'd like.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just $100 here and there. We have several nonprofits that we give. They were coming around. They'd come around once a month and said, "Look, you don't have to come around. I'll just send you a check every month." And so we have we just build it into our budget.
Yeah.
We have pretty strong partnerships with the schools like Cosby High School over here in Mosley, and then Elizabeth Scott Elementary in Enon, which is close to our South Chesterfield store, and starting to do things with them annually, like fundraisers and then sponsorships for different athletic events and things like that. So.
Yeah. Well, it seems like y'all figured out that challenge. But as you were building your business, what was the biggest challenge y'all had, and how did you overcome that?
Our biggest challenge has been and continues to be really at the technician level, finding employees. Our South Chesterfield store, we're very stable down there. We've been there for almost 15 years now, and I think I haven't mailed out a W-2 in like 4 years. So, the employees are kind of staying down there. With this being a new location, it's finding talent and keeping that talent. There's a lot of repair shops. People have a lot of choices for a repair shop. We like to think that we're setting ourselves up for the future. We're a hybrid service center. We've recently made a very nice hire to where we can work on diesels and pretty much any type of foreign car and stuff like that. So I think that's been our biggest challenge. There's kids nowadays, they're really not turning toward the trades. I have friends that are in heat and air business and things like that, and that's a challenge for them right now, employees.
Yeah, I find that because most of the marketing is towards the traditional higher education or non-trades field, and I think that's where the challenge is in the marketing, really, and the other folks aren't marketing maybe as effectively to get those folks into those trades. I have challenges too. Hiring, it's always a tricky proposition. So once you hire folks, is there a training process, or because one of the things I've noticed you talked about is customer service. Is there customer service training, or is that part of the culture, or how do you infuse that into the company?
It's kind of a combination of both. Hence why I stay here, about 4 days a week right now. 4 to 5 days a week I'm here. We've got some new people up front, so with me being here, answering their questions, being able to work with them on a day-to-day basis, infusing the morals, the ethics that we've kind of created as a business into them, and pretty soon it becomes a habit for them. Long term, I require a minimum of 40 hours a week of training that I provide. I pay for them to go to training. I pay them to be there. I pay for the training. They get fed while they're there, and that's accredited above and beyond. And then we have hundreds of hours that are available to us online training.
Wow.
through different 1-hour webinars. I think the last count was 132 different 1-hour webinars that I pay for. And so they can, they're required to go to the 40 hours, and this is above and beyond.
40 hours a year.
That I pay for.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, is the training more technical to their job, or it's more customer service oriented?
A little bit of both.
Well, for the technicians, it's technical.
Yeah.
Okay. For the guys up front, we do several different classes. We just got back from a conference last weekend. We literally closed the store early on Friday, and took the whole team to Williamsburg, Virginia for the weekend, where we sat in several seminars, all focused on customer service.
Gotcha. So, long term, as far as for other entrepreneurs who might be listening, how did you incorporate a training program like that? Is that something that you access that's part of your industry, or is this something that's available to any business?
Our particular training that we use for the people up front, a lot of people would have access to that. We go through the Chesterfield Chamber, through a lot of it.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
The Smarter Business Series, several different structures that way. And then we're a Napa Auto Care Center, so Napa helps provide, set up that training for the technicians in the back.
So I've interviewed some other folks as far as partnership goes. How do you forge the partnership? How do you select partnerships like Napa, and going through that decision-making process?
Well, we just talked about it.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's the training, the resources that they offer. We're very fortunate to be partnered with NAPA, and then also like the Virginia Automotive Association. They offer a lot of ongoing education, ongoing training, a lot of peer support, and so I think that's a big part of our decision making when we choose vendors. And
you got to look at the vendor that's. There are a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of there's 1,700 car repair shops in the greater Richmond area.
Wow.
Okay, people have choices, and there are a lot of good technicians out there. So to separate yourself, you've got to choose your partners, choose your vendors, train to set yourself differently. You've got to set up your staff, and your staff has got to respond to the customers. In a highly technical fashion. We're doing digital inspections. We're texting our customers. We're not calling them.
Yeah.
We're sending them texts. Hey, your car's ready. They're getting emails. They're because everything is it's got to be at their fingertips and uninterrupted in their day-to-day routine. So they get a text. They pull out their phone. Oh, my car's ready. Boom, done.
So how's that evolved over the years with technology, the demographic changing as far as millennials coming into the workforce and the buying force, if you will? How have that's changed, and how have y'all adapted to that in addition to the texting side?
I really feel like our target customers, maybe 25 and over. I think a lot of the younger millennials are still relying on parents to tell them where to go, and especially if their parents or somebody else is paying for the service, they're going to tell them where they want to go.
Yeah.
But we're constantly increasing our social media, just changing the way, like you said, texting, how our software integrates with our customers, and just different things like that. Just trying to stay relevant and just keep on top of what's the latest and greatest, because the older millennials are we're targeting them heavily, but everybody's on social media, everybody's using texting. So we've kind of gotten to the point where we have a few customers that we're still pretty reliant on phone calls and the older ways of communication.
Absolutely.
But
That 15 years ago when we started, marketing was easy.
Yeah.
You bought a $1,200 a month ad in the Yellow Book.
Yeah.
Now you would think it's simpler because it's at your fingertips. It's in the social media. It's in the websites and things like that. She does this full time. I can't. I think we're fortunate to be able to partner together, and for her to do the marketing part of it, because it's a full-time job. Smaller businesses that do not have that luxury, I can imagine the hours they're working to try to hold on to business, to get new business, and because the market, it's a lot to do. It's a lot to do.
So, in your overall marketing plan, what is your key focus there, Kim? We talked a little bit about social media and the old school of the $1,200 ad.
Sure.
What is your focus to be able to be successful today?
I would say probably just encouraging people to use different forms and we have a mobile app just really increasing that awareness to our customers of the technology that we offer so they can stay in touch with us.
Facebook, Instagram, a relevant website that shows up well. You got to pay for the SEO. Good reviews. We hire a third party that targets our customers. They survey our customers and ask them for reviews.
Last month here alone, we probably had about 1/8 of the new customers came in from a referral, which is extremely exciting considering the store's it's going to be 3 years old in July.
Wow. Is that a referral program you set up, or just word of mouth, general word?
Mostly just word of mouth.
Well, we do.
We have a $10 referral program where current customer can refer a new customer, and then the current customer gets $10 off their service. But it's really exciting that people are talking about us and referring us to their friends and family.
Yeah, that's great. Well, y'all talk about the evolution of technology and so forth. How did you decide to get into the hybrid technology, and that was going to be one of your focus there? Because I don't think there's many people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we're the only independent repair shop south of Ashland. So in the Richmond area. Now you can go to the dealership and all, but we consider ourselves to be a dealership alternative. I've been watching the market for a while, and then last April we decided, I kind of decided that, hey, I think it's going to go somewhere. And for us to get in on the ground floor, we either do it now or we don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And so me and another technician, we went to a school in Massachusetts called ACDC, Automotive Career Development Center.
Oh, I thought you were going to the rock concert there.
And ACDC kind of is electronic in nature, but it's Automotive Career Development Center. And the instructor there, the owner of that place, is one of the world renowned. He teaches all over the world. He is the hybrid guru pretty much in the country. He's actually writing or has written the ASE module, the Service Excellent module for the hybrid part for a technician to receive that award. And so we went up there and we literally drank from a fire hose for 6 days. We started at 7 o'clock in the morning and stopped about 10 o'clock at night. It was a lot of information. We came out as technically, him and I are both master hybrid techs.
Okay. So how's that impacted your business? Do people find you online because of that piece of it, of that hybrid?
Well, Kim can probably talk to that. She targets hybrid owners, and they've been coming in. We've got some rave reviews. We've had several problem cars that other places could not repair, and we were able to repair those. It's not going as quick as I was kind of hoping, but everything happens in time. It's coming. We probably see 1 to 2 hybrids a day, maybe, on average. We had one in this morning. Sometimes it's just regular maintenance, but people know if there is a problem, that we're here for them.
So, as far as education goes, how do you educate folks on the services that you have? Or, I've noticed some pictures of you showing students and so forth. How do you go about putting that into your program so that you can draw that kind of, attention or awareness to your business?
Well, the service managers and advisors, they'll take customers in the back and they'll actually show them their car. If we recommend brake service or whatever it may be, a fluid change, the service manager will go in the back and say, this is what your fluid likes, this is what it is now, this is what new fluid looks like, this is why we're recommending that you change it, or here's your brake pad, it's really worn down, for your safety, we recommend you replace these brake pads, because it's really terrifying if you're behind a door and you're really not seeing it. You have to trust this person that what they're telling you is the truth. And many times people have been lied to, and so we try to increase that trust, that value to the customer by letting them see exactly what why we're recommending something.
Gotcha.
Part of the digital inspection we're going to. We have the ability to actually take a picture, so the customer's not here, but we cannot take them back and show them. Which we don't like to be considered salesmen. I really like to be considered an educator.
Yeah.
I feel like that if I can take somebody that knows nothing about a car, but if I can show them and then explain it to them in layman's terms, kind of what the part does and the pros and cons of either repairing or fixing or replacing, they can make a good educated decision about what they want to do to their car, as long as they have all the facts and they can see it. The digital inspection that we're implementing right now as we speak, if the customer's not here, we can send them pictures. It's got a little description down the bottom, kind of tells them what the part does and what it doesn't do, and helps build the trust factor also.
Sure.
Where they can physically see it.
And for our audience who are listening only on the podcast side, we are in their showroom, so you're going to hear some customers and some background noise, so bear with some of that. But we want to be, particularly on the video side, as authentic as we can be in your place of establishment and work. Along those lines, as far as getting, I keep on hearing technology, you have technology. How do you decide what to invest in as technology to improve your business and how much to allocate? I think that's always a challenge for a lot of businesses out there.
I could probably relate that to an example of maybe nitrogen in the tires. That became a fad some years back, and the investment in the equipment to be able to put nitrogen versus regular air into your tires was about $8,000.
Oh.
And so, any business owner in any line of work, you really got to look at the return on investment, and then sometimes I guess you got to get lucky and kind of forecast the future. Is it going to go somewhere? Is it going to be something? And in that particular instance, I was like, well, you can't charge somebody $40 per tire to put nitrogen in their tire when you can put free air in it. Unless there's a significant amount of value. I never invested in that technology, and it's kind of almost died out.
Have you guessed wrong before?
Oh, every day. All the time. I've got a lot of equipment back there that we don't use.
Gotcha. Cool. So, one of the other areas that we talked about briefly was finding great people. What do y'all do right now to attract people? I know some of that may be in the marketing world. For the folks who have that same challenge, and I know you're having a challenge at this store, but how do you find them, and then what's been the secret to keeping the folks, particularly the other location that you've had for 15 years?
Well, so finding the new folks, like the technician we just got was actually referred to us by a vendor who kind of goes around and programs car computers, and I'll just toot our own horn. He recommended, hey, if you're going to go work somewhere, this is a place to go work. So, having a good reputation helps. It helps attract the right folks. As far as keeping them, a good training program, good benefits. We offer a full package of health care and all that. And so, and just, being there for them. We have a company Christmas party every year that, we really just try to treat the employees like we want to be treated. They're not, give them some value, some ownership in the business. So they're just not so, ready to get up and walk, go somewhere else, because they feel like they are Titan, not just, they don't work for Titan, they are Titan.
How do you, are there any challenges voicing your values and morals that y'all believe in, or is that something that y'all just do and don't even think about?
A little bit of both. I mean, we make it clear to the employees what our values are and our mission, and they know that they're expected to make decisions based on those values, and we hold them very accountable to that. We don't allow any recommendations that aren't absolutely needed and can't be explained and shown that they are necessary. We've gotten rid of employees very quickly for making bad recommendations or unnecessary recommendations to customers, because we understand that we might get that one sale, but they may not come back, and they'll tell 10, 20 people that they were sold services they didn't need, and we've always kept our reputation as our most important. It's everything.
It's really important to us. I mean, because like we alluded on earlier, I mean, these guys, our employees they're part of the business. They are, but in reality, they can leave today and go work somewhere else tomorrow.
We'll still be here.
We don't have that luxury. So if we don't hold them accountable, it's our own livelihood on the line.
Well, with that being said, making sure they have all the right education and all the right tools and technology, what do you think is the next big innovation?
That's a tough one. I mean, I really think it's in the hybrid market. I mean, our fossil fuels are being depleted. Oils, and the prices are down now, but they're going to go back up. So being able to get more bang for the buck at the fuel pump, and that's why, I mean, that was not a cheap adventure.
Yeah.
6 days for 2 people training. I probably have well over $25,000-$30,000 invested, initial investment just in that for the future. So I really think it's in the hybrid technology.
Okay.
You have 3 different types of hybrid vehicles. You have an all-electric, you have a plug-in hybrid, and then you have a hybrid vehicle. And all of those cars are getting a minimum of 50 miles per gallon.
So are you getting Teslas and stuff like that in here?
No, not yet.
Because is there any other electric ones out there?
Oh yeah, there's plenty. You got the
Just
Chevy
one?
Volt.
Oh, that's right.
The
Prius.
Nissan. The Prius is a hybrid, but you've
sorry.
the Nissan Leaf. But the Tesla is a standalone. Tesla works on Tesla. They've not released any of that technology to the public.
Okay.
Where the Chevrolets and the Fords and they've all released. They have to release that technology. It won't be long before they have to. They'll get big enough to where the government will say, "Hey,
Yeah.
you've got to make this information known, or else you got a monopoly." But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to get to the speed round, and the first question is, what is your favorite hybrid car?
BMW i3.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a hybrid. Is that the one with the funky doors?
It's all electric.
Okay, no, I'm
Yeah.
thinking the i8, but the i3, I
Yeah.
did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, BMW i3, very affordable car. Drives like a go-kart. It's really quick.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Plus, it was a project car we did
Okay.
in Massachusetts, and we pretty much took that car, brand new car,
Yeah.
brand new, it had like 60 miles on it. We took it apart, put it back together.
Do you have one, Kim?
I was going to say the BMW too. I had the chance to test drive it while I was up there, and it was amazing how much space there was. It looked like a little tiny car, but I mean, it was amazing in the speed that
Yeah,
it
very quick.
very quick. It was a great little car.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. What's the most common repair that y'all have?
Probably brakes.
Brakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
A nice wear item, you probably see those every 50, 60, 70,000 miles on a
Gotcha.
vehicle.
Probably see mine a little faster.
It depends on your driving conditions. People ask me all the time, how long will if they're, say they have 25%
Yeah.
left on their brakes, how long will that last? I'm like, well, you can drive from point A to point B on the highway and never stop.
Yeah.
Well, you can drive the same amount of mileage in the city and stop 10, 15 times.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it really depends on your driving habits, but probably brakes. I mean, we're a Michelin tire dealer, so we do quite a few tires. A lot of diagnostics. Both my shops have really good diagnostic ability, so we can really troubleshoot the unknown, so to speak.
Gotcha.
The problem areas.
What's the most common car that comes through?
Wow.
I haven't.
Probably a Ford F-150.
Oh,
We do a lot of fleet accounts, a lot of small businesses in the area, and they're driving the F-150s, the F-250s, the Chevy Silverado 1500s, but the pickup trucks that are, the tradesmen are using.
Okay.
We kind of cater to that type of company.
Okay. Gotcha.
At this location, I think we have a lot. The cars are much higher end. I mean, we have Audis and Jaguars and
Yep.
a lot of Corvettes we've been working on lately, and even some classic cars. So it's always exciting to see what's going on in the
You
back.
never know what's going to be in
You
the
really
shop.
don't.
Yeah. Cool.
We had one day we had
2 Corvettes, a
Two
78 and a 2017. They're both white. It was awesome.
Oh, I might have to come in here and make sure that the repair's okay for you guys. So, what's the toughest part to repair?
toughest part.
Problem.
Spark plugs on a F-150.
Very well could be. The 5.4 Triton can be very difficult. It's all mechanical stuff. None of it's really tough to replace. It's some of it's more time consuming,
Yeah.
but none of it's hard once you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
I always want to say we're practicing working on automobiles. Like you practice law and you practice medicine. I want to practice working on cars, but it's a science to it. It's not difficult.
I think a lot of it's just drivability issues and diagnostics, because a customer will come in and they'll try to explain what they're hearing, and so there's many times we'll actually have a tech just go test drive the car with the customer, because the customer's going to be quick to point out, oh, there's the beep, there's the squeak, there's the, you know, and sometimes it's just getting that, just somebody to hear or feel it is
and then
the start
locating
of
that
it.
noise.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a squeak or a bump or a thump. And we found one not too long, maybe 6 months ago. The customer said, "There's this crazy noise. I've had it 3 over the shops. They can't figure it out. It was a loose spare tire."
That's crazy. So let me ask you this. What's the percent split, like 60, 40, 70, 30, between art and science in your business?
If you're talking the mechanical side in the back, it's I'd say 90-10.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, with science and art,
Okay, science.
90 science. Up front, handling the customers, there's an art to that. My managers they're the middleman, right? They're dealing with technicians who can be moody, they're employees, and then you're dealing with customers who are, they're spending money on something a lot of times they didn't plan on doing.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of art to that.
Yeah.
I would say 60% art, 40% on the front side.
How about running a business? What's the percent split?
100% crazy. Oh, that wasn't an option. We enjoy it, but
I don't think we could do anything else. I can't imagine working for somebody at this point. We've been working for ourselves for so long. It's
it's definitely not technical. The money side can be, but it's an art. Dealing with employees. Before I told you I worked manufacturing.
Yeah.
And I had over 100 employees that worked for me last time. And if somebody didn't want to do their job, it was pretty simple. Hey, no problem. Hit the street. I got somebody right behind you that can step right in that role. In small business world, you do not have that luxury.
No.
So there's a big, wide area of tolerance sometimes and coercion and really just hey, what's the you got to drill down to the root cause of the problem. What are your issues? What's causing you to act this way or whatever? And so it's become a psychologist sometimes.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll have meeting after meeting after meeting all day long. With employees.
So what's the y'all both I guess sense some similarities as far as some of the challenges you're faced with. What is the toughest part about working together?
I guess every once in a while, the line will get crossed, that imaginary line that we've got where we split different things, and
the frustrations of work will carry over. We don't take it out on each other, but it can be a quiet evening sometimes, or a quiet ride home. Once a month we get to ride together.
So what's the best part of working together?
Schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schedule.
We can be together when we want to be together and not be together when, but we can plan the business around things that we do. We have a lot of hobbies. I love to garden and play golf.
Okay.
So I do a lot of that. So a lot of times we can be together a lot.
Fantastic. Cool. All right. Well, before we get into the last couple of questions here, I want to acknowledge you guys for the impact that y'all have in the community. I know y'all have won the Small Business Award for the Chesterfield Chamber, and you give so much to the different organizations that approach you. So we acknowledge and thank you for that, for impact.
Thank you.
With that, how can folks connect with you guys?
Oh, we're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just about
all the social media.
All the social media.
We love that as a marketing company ourselves, so we'll make sure we link that in the show notes. So the final two questions here. What is and we'll ask both of you, what are your 3 secrets to success, whether it's in life or business?
Patience. Good morals. And a focus on the customer. If I had to pull 3 off the top of my head, those were the first 3 that came to me.
What about you, Kim?
I can't really say off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
We'll use Butch as the same then. And final question for both of you is, everybody has their perception of success. What is your definition of success?
I mean, for me, it's it's a multitude of things. It's being able to provide for my family, for my employees to be able to provide for their families, because we have 18 employees, so for them to be able to provide and make a good living, not work too much, but work hard. I'm kind of old school, so I like working hard. And then something we've talked about is being able to give back a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, work hard, play hard, give back.
Oh, I like that. Work hard, play hard, get back. With that, thank you so much for your time, everybody.
you.
Excellent, thank you.
So make sure you catch this episode. We'll have everything on the show notes. Until then, be successful and stay social.